from getting into draft for our 1v1. The way that this camera is framed is indicating that these are our 1v1 participants for the first match. I'm gonna hold my thought on that. As here we go! All right. Take us away, Riku.
Here we go. It is going to be Gabo versus XXJ here. We're seeing a Gwen versus a Kali matchup.
Oh, this is not what I was expecting at all, but we are going straight over to the Baron lane here in the Wild Rift itself, as we're already getting super low on HP. XXJ trying to take it to Gabo as we are in the level 1 stage, and XXJ able to hit that level 2 advantage here on the Akali.
Interesting enough, XXJ going for teleport as well, trying to go back to base, potentially looking for early spikes on that Akali. Both these champions sometimes take a little bit of time to get online, but that Akali poke early on can be very, very scary.
Yeah, I feel like the second skill timings here for Gabo is going to be incredibly crucial to make sure that XXJ is able to at least mitigate a bit of damage from this Akali pick. But shoved under the tower, at least there's some sort of healing involved as the pulse now arises.
One of the things to note that Gabo already expended both of their summoner spells early on in the trade, whereas XXJ is keeping it cool. Both teleport and flash still available. So I imagine that the strategy for XXJ is try to chunk out Gabo as much as possible, then wait for Gabo to recall if he's forced to, get another massive health trade, then use that teleport so that he comes back to lane with not only a better purchase, but also a full health bar as well, Stuart.
Yeah, you can see how aggressive XXJ is playing as well. You know, wanted to do exactly what you said, try and force the Gwen back, try and make sure that you poke them down as much as possible, because you have that teleport advantage. Normally in these 1 versus 1 scenarios, you normally see the double combat summoners, like, the Gwen with the Ignite, with the Barrier, trying to go for more combat power. But now Akali going back to base at level 5, both these players have their ultimate, just going straight for Mercury Treads, knowing against the ability power of Gwen can be a very, very strong tank item.
That was really scary. It does feel like XXJ was finding a correct timing to go for it, as perfect execution is now available with level 5. But of course, because of the lack of teleport, that means it's going to be a slow back to the lane as this wave is going to be frozen a little bit. But at the same time, Ignite is going to be such an important thing in this upcoming potential skirmish.
XXJ, I just noticed, took the Grasp the Undying Tombstone, so prioritizing that sustain. He wants to go for the War of Attrition against Gabo's champion setup here, as this Gwen is able to come back to the lane. Both champions now with Mercury Treads trying to reduce that magic damage. Oh! You can see right there the hesitation from XXJ, not committing with the perfect execution, but he successfully baits out the needlework from Gabo. Now he has the ultimate advantage. He's gonna go looking for the perfect executions, already casted 1 time. Cannot find the last execution for the amount of burst damage he wants to get, as Gabo dashes in boldly and is able to survive the ultimate.
And you're seeing how strong these tank boots are, because not a lot of damage is going through on both sides, when it comes to Gwen's ultimate, even Akali's ultimate as well. Yeah. Both these players are finding it very, very difficult to try and do damage, to try and push underneath the tower. But a barrier used again, though, by Gabo, trying to make sure that he can sustain underneath the tower, but just trades going back and forth. And one other big thing as well is, of course, Gwen uses mana every time she uses ability. Akali doesn't have that, and the energy is going to be sustained over time, and it's going to be a lot more difficult for Gwen to stay in this lane compared to Akali.
Exactly what's happening right now, and with that tag, Gabo is forced out of tower, going back to base, because you do not want to be lethal against this XXJ Akali. And so far, so good. I do feel like it is going to be quite the guessing game. Every time the Shroud is being let out by XXJ, it's always about, where am I going to snip? Is this it? Am I able to pull? At least deal damage at that time window.
And the first real advantage has been played by XXJ of WRLK by getting a chance to hit the turret, get some additional gold into his pockets off of that turret plating, but didn't find a chance to recall just yet. Does have teleport available, so I imagine trying to get a big chunk onto Gabo's health bar and then look for the teleport into the instant recall.
Yeah, I think there was like 5 seconds left on the teleport, so decided to stay back in lane at the moment, and again, forcing this Gwen away, forcing Gabo away, and actually potentially looking to recall as well. Maybe has another item potential to try and pick up, but this gives the Akali opportunity to push it out, to try and go underneath the tower, and then teleport back to lane.
See here now. There's going to be a tone being kicked out. XXJ still very comfortable when it comes to gold. We talked about this, right? It is a win condition. 7,500 as well. So if a chill is not in place, that is still also a possibility as the tower is slowly getting dwindled.
Yeah, turret plating has now fallen off, so it's, or my mistake, not fallen off completely, but it's getting closer and closer to that 0 mark as the needlework from Gobbo. And of course, XXJ out of this lane, the Ignite used as well. Barrier still available for the next potential all-in. XXJ on the back foot, but he still has a teleport. Gobbo is going to try to stop the recall, but doesn't get a chance to. And now Gobbo around 50% HP, but XXJ is going to be able to return the lane, not only with a Sheen, but also an Oblivion Orb to help further reduce the healing off of Gwen's kit.
And you see that the advantage really comes through with the Akali, because even though she got low on HP and it became very, very difficult, the Akali still has teleport to go back to base, had so much gold, as you mentioned, Rafa. The Sheen, the extra anti-heal as well with the little Oblivion Orb there is going to make it very, very difficult. And you see that XXJ is prioritizing really strong tier 2 components, when Gwen is actually prioritizing trying to finish that Rhythmaker as quick as possible. But the game might be over by the time that she tries to complete it.
That's true. 900 HP already on this tower, Rafa.
Hello.
Gobbo is able to return to his turret just in time, but now there is 500 HP left on this turret. If XXJ gets another chance to hit the turret by himself, the game will finish, and WRLK will find its first victory here at Wild Round Smash.
Crazy stuff. Oh, now out of the way, half HP for Gobbo. XXJ really wants it as the wave is going to slowly crash. The good thing, the clear is right there for Gobbo. Now, actually forced to maybe back away, perhaps, but with sustain, XXJ might be ready for this.
XXJ looking for another aggressive trade here onto Gobbo. He has Ignite and Barrier available. Trying to use both of these summoner spells is going to be crucial to defend his turret from falling. And even if he is able to defend that turret from falling, Stuart, we are rapidly approaching that 7,500 gold mark.
And you can see that Gappo actually can't even go back to base, because as soon as he goes back to base, the game is over.
Exactly.
Because the tower is going to be taken. Low on HP, the tower's really low as well, and it's not looking very good for the Philippines region.
XXJ gonna go for the solid points. The barriers pop, the Ignite, forcing XXJ to flash away from that last turret shot. That could have been the turnaround for Team Chickmit's representative. But Gobbo, low on mana, low on HP, cannot stick around as he would die under the turret, and this could just be XXJ's opportunity to finish the 1v1.
And there it is, 300 HP down into the Shroud. Gotta walk back.
Gonna be enough.
There it goes. XXJ able to take out the turret in time. And Gobbo tried his darndest to live through it all, as we're going to fight it out to the very end. But XXJ victorious for WRLK.
Very interesting scenario in this first one.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't expecting like the early teleport being such a big important factor for the Akali, being able to get that advantage, poke early on, and then use
Support versus support matchup. Is it still going to be the big 1v1 lanes? As we're going to find out really, really soon. Here we go. Avesta versus Renekton. It's Helios versus Yo. I got a little bit too excited. I'm sorry.
And Bessa versus Renekton, a classic Baron lane matchup, but it's now going to come down to both of these players to see who can find the edge. Ignite and Flash both being used, Conqueror Keystones as well. This is as standard as you can get, but I'm still excited nonetheless.
Exactly that. I think the mobility of the Ambassador in the end is going to be really, really great to be the dodging, the extra stuns in the end from the Renekton. And again, both of these champions are going to not have mana, so they can stay in lane for so long.
Oh, already aggressive trading coming out from Helios, and you, as Helios finds himself below 50% HP, and you gets a chance to heal off of the Honey Fruit right there in his lane, as Helios is trying to work his way up to level 5. Ignite, already used by you. Gonna force Helios back. Almost 200 HP, but not dead and still surviving.
It makes me wonder if there's ever going to be a 1v1 match where the kill happens or the match ends before we all reach level 5. Like back-to-back kills, I think that might be a possibility. But here we go. Helios once again gonna come right in. Doesn't get stunned, however. The shield's gonna not proc. This could be
Level
it.
5.
Oh boy. Dominus. It's already popped there by you. And Helios is going to get chased off the tower because he's only level 4. No access to the public execution. There's nothing that he can do. He has to take the recall.
And Ambassador early on is so difficult because the Renekton is going to have so much power. You've got so much mobility and so much potential by this Ambassador to make sure that you can do so much. And I think when it comes to the Ambassador now, that level 5, getting that extra armor penetration, get the extra mobility is going to be great. But because he was a little bit slow when clearing through the wave, and that's the power of Renekton in the early game.
Yeah, exactly. That easy combo, being able to just sneak in a couple of autos, and as well as that big ultimate, that Dominus, to make sure that you're able to get that sustained or HP advantage over this Mbessa.
Check this out. Helios does not go for the defensive boots option of the steel-plated caps.
He's crazy.
He's going for pure
brave.
sustain. He's going to try to rely on all the combined sustain and the Omni Vamp you get from your ult passive, the Omni Vamp you get from your boots choice as well, and the Conquer Keystone. I mean, this is a different way of trying to out-endure your opponent, but it requires you getting up close and personal to do it.
And you see the reaction from Yo here as well, going for the Executioners, making sure that he doesn't get that much healing as well. Helios even yoinking away the Honey Fruit in the end, making sure that none of the extra healing, none of the extra sustain comes through here for the Renekton. Helios and then though, again though, the level 5 from the Renekton is so strong.
Public execution right on top, gets the knock-up onto you, but he is dropping in health. The flash that guaranteed the kill, and you picks up the first blow in this 1v1.
That felt like that could have been a setup, but Helios again, once the Dominos pops up, once a combo enters into battle, again, it's going to be really hard to win that HP game. Who deals the most DPS in a short amount of time, despite that execution being perfect. Yo is still going to be satisfied with this, getting a kill and getting turret plates down.
That was a lot of damage to the turret already, Stuart. That was 3 plates gone.
Yeah.
Just like that, I mean, the plates early on can be very weak, and they could get taken down so quickly. And then when the tower plates fall, Helios really has backup against the wall now. He needs to make sure that he tries to push this tower, and then the flash of the emojis as well. Helios, I think, realizing that he's so far behind in this matchup now, so far behind in gold. You can see the Phage completed here by Yo, the extra longsword. And I think this really shows the power between the defensive boots and the offensive boots for Helios, because he's not going to be able to do as much damage, unfortunately, with these offensive boots. And he's trying his best every single time to try and trade against Renekton. But as soon as that ultimate is back up again, the extra healing comes through, the extra health comes through, and it becomes so difficult for Helios to try and escape through that.
Yeah, so many inherent combat advantages already stacked up here for Yo's Renekton, and Helios is doing everything that he can to just survive. Any 1v1 that Yo takes is winning unless something severely goes wrong and for the favor of Helios, but it would require Yo getting almost a little too overly confident, trying to dive him under the tower. That's, I feel like, is the one way Helios can get back into this game, unless Yo's going to pop the Dominus and Helios immediately backs off.
Has the Ignite available, could have used the Ignite there to try and stop the healing from the Honey Fruit, but decides not to use the but might try and go for the tower dive.
This could be the teeny tiny window as Dominus is now expired, but with the health disadvantage, Helios might have to hesitate a little bit.
Oh, 100 HP just like that! Yo from WRLK secures another 1v1 victory.
There you go. That is going to be 2 points already for the side of WRLK, and they're going to be happy about that one. It is quite the matchup, not going to lie. We're seeing a lot of decision-making, not only in micro decisions, but as well how important and critical these item choices, these first backs are so impactful.
Over to my left, I see Stuart jotting down some notes as we need. Poke Mage is, we just need assassins. Who knows? We'll let our thumbs do the talking, as here we go. Already, it's Chaos, and just calling out some of the champions we already see. Singe, we see Set, Kale, Rise, Seraphine. We got a Victor, we've got a Misfortune, we got a Wukong, we've got a Zed, and we got a Nautilus that is blinking low on HP.
Wait a minute, the Thresh God? Rox is able to get a Nautilus in AA.
That's a hook champion.
That's a hook champion right there.
Oh, big fling. Singe is going to force out the flash of one of the characters there from CKT. And Victor is the first one to fall.
Very interesting to see that all these players are pretty much picking up the boots early on, making sure that you have the extra mobility, trying to dodge things like the Nautilus hook, the snowball coming on through as well, but the Nautilus hook is just too much. The crowd control is way too good, but the kill gets traded back in the end.
Nicely done here. 2-1 so far. WRLK has really nice poke, really nice sustain. I fear Long later on, if the game goes a while, that's going to be a crazy sustain.
Yeah, good call. Long picking up the Kale. Cyclone already used by Team Chickmid, but the immediate Divine Intervention saves Long's life for now. The Death Mark used, trying to get some burst damage back, but to no avail. WRLK still holding strong with the sustain. The Snowball taken. That's the Nautilus ultimate, trying to look for the callback, and the ultimate on the back line there. Long blinking incredibly low, but does not die, as the Rise is able to survive and bring CKT back to their knees.
Oh my word, Tiga is able to deliver the rest of the players of CKT on their tower range, but they're still not over.
The kills continue pouring in here, Stuart. This is just crazy. WRLK, they're diving the turret!
I mean, they don't care at this point. They're diving underneath the tower. They're trying to get some more kills as
Wait a
well.
minute.
Long is going to die in the end. Triple kill in the end for Taunte, being able to get that for the Wukong as well. But that does mean you have to mention that all the players for WRLK are able to go back to base
Rox
and
is going
spend
in.
all the golds.
He locked up Yo under the tower, but he's able to hold strong as the Rise. Still below 50% HP, but still surviving the Rune Prison, locking up Taunte, and the Wukong finally bites the dust.
Oh, there's a lot going on here, as it is quite the sustained fight. Time lapse may be the next one to fall as the auto attacks fall. That's going to be a double kill for the Rise, as Yo is going to be happy about that one.
Rise ulting underneath the tower. He
They
doesn't
are.
care.
Look at the sustain.
They have so much sustain with the Seraphine coming on through. I love how Long has gone for KO as well. It just fits his style so well. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to farm up early on. I'm just going to get a few kills, and then boom, later on the fling back from the Singe, the poison as well. It's so much of the Seraphine shielding means that Philippines cannot do anything about the damage coming on through at the moment from WRLK.
I mean, you can see the burst damage that is being attempted by Team Chickmid right now. Rox is in a world of trouble.
What?
The set ultimate brings the Nautilus right back into the waiting arms of the Philippines, but WRLK able to persevere and finally deal the first big blow of the AA Ram match in taking out the first tower.
Not another kill. It was just XXJ just going right in. That's going to be a shutdown, however, coming from Taunte, but Long is still pretty much alive. I think they're just after the reset.
Triple?
Maybe a quadra?
Come on, Taunte, bring it back home. They pick up the quadra kill, and now there's a moment of reprieve for Team
Hold on a
Chickmid to
second.
see if they can look for the first
Penta?
tower of their own. Looking for the Penta right on top. Tiga in a world of trouble, trying to sustain through it all. No Penta! Oh, man.
It was so close in the end, but then, of course, everyone on WRLK comes back alive, and that means they wipe away the Philippines team. You can see Singed as well. Singed is a very big boy. He's like double the size of every other champion right now, and he's just absolutely storming through.
That is one big singed on Howling Abyss for WRLK. They're going to push through. They deny the opportunity for Team Chickmid to
there's
look
the
at that first
fling.
tower, and they're just diving past the second tier turret. Encore goes through, stuns up on roots. Multiple members of their forced to dance back to their doom on top of their own graves. The Misfortune Ultimate doing so much damage across the entire battlefield as Howling Abyss is becoming littered with corpses of both teams.
Tactical still pretty much alive to land these important auto attacks, as the set will get a double kill. Rox will get a very thick shield as they continue on with the chase. But
Look at Long!
Long pops the Divine Intervention. He flashes right on top of the back line, forcing the victor, but Long cannot stay alive for that much longer, as now WRLK trying to rely on XXJ to survive with this Singe. He's going to bite the dust here.
Where did they come from?
Whoa, where did they come from? It was the Realm Warp!
there's no way. The action just does not stop right here. Taunte still pretty much alive, but will fall eventually. The Realm Warp delivery system, I tell ya.
It's just constant carnage at the moment. There's just so much fighting. Everyone trying their best to try and at least trade decently. Like there's so much in terms of crowd control, the sustain coming through from Seraphine. But the big thing right now is that Long is scaling, you know, the late game scaling of this KO as well, going for that AD build. We see some of the unique AARM items as well, like on the End in Despair being built by the set. The extra AoE damage is coming on through as well. Bit of time to relax here, Rafa.
You know what? it's just like a callback to the 1v1s. It's all about war of attrition. It's all about the sustain. WRLK, while a lot of these champions do a lot of damage, they're building defensively with all these sustained items. And even though the burst damage is coming through from Team Chickmit, it is not putting a major dent into the health bars of Team WRLK. Yes, they bring down the Seraphine, but you have to bring down everyone else from the side of Team WRLK, because here comes XXJ walking around. He owns this rift.
Oh my word. Immediately everybody's pretty much deleted as they want to engage. Not the flash flip as they try to run away from the hills as the tower might go down soon.
Everything's going down right now. Again, the set, the damage is way too good. We talk about how strong the tanks are. The set, the Singe are just running absolute swings around CKT right now, and it becomes very, very difficult. They're going to try and dive underneath the tower. They are going to try and get one kill. Maybe wanted to try and go back to try and spend a little bit of their extra gold as well. You're seeing the AoE damage as well, and Long is doing so much. Unstoppable for the Rise in the end.
Team WRLK able to persevere. They're flashing forward onto the Misfortune. Send them back to the fountain for another death timer, waiting on the next minion wave to try and see if they can push it in for the end of this game. Ooh. The Nexus has yet to be touched by Team WRLK, but Long just unloads all the force of the Divine Intervention. Finally gets brought down by Tante's Wukong, but the minion wave finally makes its approach. It's enough for Team Chickmit to hold on and keep the defenses up for their Nexus, and they try to go in.
Here we go. There's a lot going on. Singe gonna come right through as well. Rox is pretty much stuck in the middle of it all, trying to be a big wall to make sure that the rest of the DPS is able to do. But because of the Singe, because of XXJ, with the flip, that don't matter.
And on top of it all, Stuart, it's that Seraphine you called out. They cannot cut through the shields. They cannot cut through the healing. They even itemized Serpent's Fang to try and get through all the sustain, but it's still not enough. And the Nexus is starting to drop.
Nexus dropping low on HP. There are no minions though, so WRLK has to go back. They do have that healing sphere that they could try and go for. They do try and go for that, get a bit of extra sustain. Big thing now though is that for CKT, they can try their best to try and win this fight right now, because most of the members of WRLK have not been able to spend all their money that they've been able to accumulate over the last few minutes.
Yeah, we're looking at 4 or 5 deaths. Total Realm War!
Realm War right into the thick of the back line. There comes the set ultimate to pile drive one into the side of the wall. Tante gets dropped as well. They can't deal with the Singe. This man is untouchable. He is unbreakable. And this Misfortune cannot do a damn thing as WRLK break through the defenses, break through the fountain, and they break down the Nexus.
What a first AAA RAM match that we have just witnessed. WRLK with Long on the scaling tail, and as well as the Rye, XXJ on the Singe, just setting up